everyone, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, we are doing a product review on the brand new release from Nars. This is their Easy Glowing Cheek Palettes. In this video, I will be sharing my thoughts on the palettes with you guys, as well as showing you some swatches. And I also have the Nars Blanc De Sable palette, as well as the Nars de Plage palette, so I will be also comparing those two to the new cheek palettes as well. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Jenna. Thank you so much for stumbling across this channel and clicking on this video. I am just your everyday girl that loves makeup, loves shopping for makeup, buying a whole crap ton of makeup. So if you're just as obsessed with makeup as I am, then I'm sure we'd be really great friends. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be a part of our little YouTube family, as well as stay in contact with me when I post my future videos. Now that all that rambling is done, let's get on to the review. The outer packaging of this palette is a beautiful metallic pink color, and it is very reminiscent of the original release from Nars, the Blanc De Sable palette, that has the very similar outer packaging, but in a copper metallic instead. Nars just recently released not one, but two easy glowing cheek palettes, one that is more so catered to lighter skin tones, and the second that is more so catered to deeper skin tones. When you open up the palette, you will see a palette size mirror on the lid, as well as 3 highlighter shades. These palettes are exclusive to Nordstrom, and they are available for $49 US each. The first palette is intended for lighter skin tones, and it is a French name, so I'm going to botch this so bad, I apologize, but this palette is called Reve Soleil, or Reve Soleil, I think. The second palette is meant for darker skin tones, and this one is also in French, so we're going to try our best here. This is called Coucher de Soleil. I know this one means sunset in English. I don't know what Reve Soleil means, so if you guys know in the comments, please let me know. I'm curious. So I also have Nars's earlier release, which is called Blanc De Sable. This is also a 3-pan highlighter palette, but there is a difference. In this one, each pan is 3.4 grams of product. However, in the new cheek palettes, each pan in this one is 3.5 grams, so this one is slightly bigger. Here are the swatches of the shades in the Reve Soleil palette. I found it very interesting that these shades don't have names. They are just labeled by number. We have number 1, number 2, and number 3. And here are also the swatches for the Coucher de Soleil palette. We have number 1, number 2, and number 3. As far as the formula of the new Easy Glowing palettes, I think if you are a fan of the Blanc De Sable palette, as well as the highlights in the Banc de Plage palette or Banc de Plage palette, these formulas are incredibly similar to the Easy Glowing palette, so if you are in love with any of these two, then you will certainly love the new releases as well. These palettes are definitely versatile and very forgiving because you don't have to worry about having a heavy hand. You could definitely build up the highlight to the degree like this, where you have more of a blinding highlight, or you can really dim it down and have a subtle, healthy glow that just looks like you're glowing from within. You could definitely use these powders wet as well for a very intense look. This one on my left here is Blanc De Sable. This one is the new cheek palette, the Reve Soleil. As you can see under the lights, these are pretty similar, so I will do some swatch comparisons as well so we can go shade by shade. When comparing the first shade in the Blanc De Sable palette, which is called Revage, this one definitely has more of a silver undertone versus the first shade in the cheek palette, which is called number 1. This one definitely has more of a light gold undertone. When comparing the second shade in the new cheek palette, I actually found one of the highlighters in the Banc de Plage palette, which Nars still sells currently, is very close to the new cheek palette shade number 2. Lastly, shade number 3 in the Blanc De Sable palette is a beautiful deep pink, and to my eyes, it is very similar, if not exact, to number 3 in the new cheek palette. The Blanc De Sable palette was a limited edition highlighter palette from last summer, so if you did pick this up, then I don't think you would need the cheek palette, but if you didn't, you can no longer get this one, so then you should definitely get the cheek palette. When it comes to comparing the second palette, which is meant for the deeper skin tones, the Coucher de Soleil, all of those shades, in my opinion, don't have any close dupes to any of the previous releases from Nars, so those are definitely shades that you can justify purchasing. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on those palettes. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them. If you're thinking about purchasing them, I'm super curious to know. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button, as well as don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And until my next video guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!